Hi everyone, my name is Jeanie Colclough and welcome back to another episode of Passport to Profit. I'm here, we exist to help you. Maybe you're a struggling travel advisor, maybe you're trying to figure out if you should take that leap and change your career trajectory. And just a little bit about myself. I was a former high school teacher for almost 19 years, and this particular episode rings true or I think it's really important because people were going to doubt you, right? So this particular episode is how to handle doubters when you have to reinvent yourself. So let's talk about this, right? So a little bit about yourself. Think about where you are in your stage of life. You might be mid-career, mid-transition. You might be a stay-at-home parent who's highly educated but took time off to take care of their children. You might be a school teacher, an attorney, a nurse, somebody who's looking for a way to serve other people, but not in the way that you are currently serving people, if that makes sense, right? So you're kind of sick of being an order taker, having people boss you around or telling you why this is what we have to do because of so-and-so policy. You don't have to do that anymore. What you can do is you can say no to those kinds of people and say yes to people who want to work with you because of your expertise, who want your expertise in help planning the trip of a lifetime. So what sounds better than that? So in today's episode, I want you to really think about questioning that doubt. So you finally announce to your colleagues or to your husband or your wife, I'm going to start my own travel business. And you don't hear like, woo, yay. Instead, you hear crickets, right? So if you hear crickets, you have a little bit of self-doubt. If they're not supporting you, they may be a little bit skeptical and they say, hey, you can book travel anywhere. Why would anybody want to choose to book with you, right? There are Expedia exists, TripAdvisor exists. If you live in Asia, there's a bunch of other websites like Klook, Trip.com, right? Get My Guide. They all exist, and it's all to make your life a lot easier, right? The average traveler's life easier. And you start to question, those questions are running around in your head too. If your own friends and family are doubting you, why wouldn't you doubt your own self? So what I want to talk about today is that, yes, it's okay to have these doubts, but how to address the doubts is to have a plan in action, right? Put a plan forward. People are going to say, isn't that just a fancy hobby, right? Who actually use travel agents these days? And I'm going to give you an example. So for example, I belong to several networking groups, right? And I went to a networking meeting about a month ago, and I was talking about how the local agency in my hometown shut down, and it's a brick and mortar. And I was asking the guy next to me, who's a realtor, I said, what do you think about me opening up a brick and mortar travel agency? And he just looked at me and he knew that I was a travel agency owner / advisor. And he goes, oh, who needs travel agents? I almost want to say, excuse me, we're in a professional networking group here. Could I say the same thing about who needs a realtor, right? There are people who do sell homes on their own. So yes, I understand they're not exactly the same thing, but I was kind of like a little bit offended that he dismissed our occupation so easily. But at the same time, I understood he's asking, why would I need a travel advisor in the 21st century when there are so many tools at my fingertips? And I understand that. He is not my ideal client. So whenever you hear someone say that, they are not your ideal client. Do not try to spend so much time trying to figure out how to sell yourself to that kind of person, right? They will come to you when and if they need you, when and if your story or your messaging is on brand and they understand it. If they don't understand it, they don't know how to use your services, okay? So eventually people will, once they need you, they'll start asking you for help, right? So I want you to get from that shift of when people ask you, oh, why would you do that? And hopefully you can clarify that mindset of your own so that they come back to you and go, oh, can you help plan my vacation, right? So, I think I've mentioned this before. I've had several clients that have doubted the expertise and they don't want to work, or they're initially hesitant to work with me. So another example, I think I mentioned in a previous episode, was a father-daughter trip, right? The daughter was graduating from college. He wanted to spoil her on her own vacation. He saved a lot of money, spent a lot of money on this trip. And he would tell me, oh, my friend said that they did this and this in this location. And they wanted to do this and this in that other location. Or this hotel. We want to stay in this hotel because my friend liked it. And I told him, I said, look, like your friend's budget is 5 times bigger than your budget. There is no way you can stay in this hotel, right? The published rates, the hidden rates, the rates that they give us travel advisors, those rates don't exist for you. So I'm trying to be mindful of your budget here and that you do want to spoil your daughter, but your budget is more limited than your friend's budget, right? Now, if your budget is unlimited, we can do all those activities and more. But we're trying to work within the parameters of the budget that you gave me. So I think sometimes as an advisor, and this is why we say the word advisor, not agent, is that we try to advise our clients as to what is the best way or how can we serve you that accommodates your specific style of traveling, right? And where you want to go. So I think when it comes down to it, I was able to kind of counsel him and tell him, hey, this isn't going to work for you. Let's readjust. So when people are questioning you, when you have clients questioning you, when you have clients doubting you, really what they're saying is they don't know your brand or your message yet. You have not made it explicitly clear to them who you serve, how you serve them, and why you serve them, right? So I think they are skeptical because you as a travel advisor have not figured out how to demonstrate your knowledge, how to demonstrate your worth, right? Especially if it's the first time working with a client. If it's the second, third, or fourth time, you're a repeat. If they're a repeat client, okay, you don't have to worry about that. But if it's their first time, they need to see your value, right? And then they'll come back to you. So usually clients that understand the way I work with them, they'll come back. But if they don't understand the value, then they will just go book everything on their own, right? And that's fine. That's fine for them. And that's fine for you. Because at the end of the day, you want to grow your business and you want referrals from people who you enjoy working with. They're going to refer to you individuals that are more like them, right? So if you go out and you start selling really cheap cruises or cheap hotels where you don't make any money on the commission, and you bend over backwards to service that person and you don't even charge a planning fee, they're going to say, hey, Jeannie's a great agent. She'll do your budget travel. She'll do your cheap travel. And I've had to counsel clients and say, this is how I work. These are my niche is 4 or 5-star luxury hotels, luxury cruises, luxury safaris, luxury providers. I can help you with the moderate price stuff, but I really can't help you with the bargain basement budget stuff. So make sure you know who you're speaking to and how you're messaging yourself, right? So there are some ways you can handle these doubters authentically and gracefully, right? So make sure that if you have a website, the messaging is on point, right? Tell them your why, who you're there to serve, who's your ideal client avatar, right? You're not going to say, my ideal client avatar is this. No. On your website, with images, with wording, that's why you need branding experts, right? You're going to say, I help business professionals plan their family trips, right? I help, wine lovers plan their weeks during the harvest. So think about who you're trying to message. And of course, you're going to have more than one target niche audience group. I think what I despise about a lot of people is they find your niche, find your niche, find your niche. What if you have multiple niches? And that's fine. So figure out who you want to target in your business. Second one is to respond, but don't react. If someone says they don't find value in you, you go, okay, I understand, right? Like that's a fair question or that's a fair assumption. Let me address how I help my clients, right? Don't be negative. Don't react to people like that. They don't deserve your energy, all right? Number 3, I think I mentioned this earlier. Show, do not tell. Show people how you demonstrate your value, your worth, right? What kind of efforts you bring to the table and why they should book with you for future travel and all travel, right? And last but not least, surround yourself with believers. So whether it be other mentors in the industry like myself, your biggest cheerleaders, figure out who's going to support you and why, right? Don't let the doubters, don't talk to the doubters, right? I think it's best to figure out these doubters or kind of let them be, right? They'll figure out if your company is big enough for you to take on their business, whatnot. So I think at the same time, in closing, what I like to say is like, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, find people who believe in you, right? If you'd like to join our group, our Facebook group, it's below. Join us, explain to us like what you need from a host agency. And if any of this spoke to you and rang true to you, contact us and join us. We're always looking for new and experienced agents to join our team. My name is Jeanie Colclough. I'm the owner of Riveting Trips, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have comments and you like what you heard, please let us know in the comment section. Share with your friends and family. Anybody who's interested in becoming a travel advisor, reach out to us. You'll find us on all the socials. Ciao, ciao.